Guys, I don't know what's happening here. I can't see a thing. On this stream, I'm not getting live chats or anything. Sorry about that. The old internet seemed to pack in there, so this looks like this live stream will be in 2 parts. Anyway, I'll go ahead and put a drop of oil into this. Russell, is that you back again, is it? Don't actually know what happened there. I'm not very technical. It just seemed to freeze up. I think it might have been my phone. Something to do with my phone. Right, I've lost where did I put my rubber boot? Guys, a couple of people back on. Who are you? Where are you from? I'm gonna see. I'll turn you around and let you see my beautiful face. My pliers stuck to my microfiber towel and flung everything everywhere a few minutes ago. And I can't find the rubber shock boot. What have you guys been up to? Anything decent? And Russell, if you're there, I hear you went and got yourself another car, did you, to join us up at Ballymena? Right, there we go. We've got everything now. Island RC Duke, hi from Louisiana. How you doing, man? That's a queer distance away. And yes, Russell, back again. I've absolutely no idea what happened. I happened to look up at the screen. I was waffling a load of nonsense, and the screen was just glitching and glitching. I think it might have been my phone had automatically locked, but I am not very tech savvy, so I just had to shut it all down and start again. You got a Sending to play with. Is it in stock or is it ordered? And Island RC, I see you comment all the time on my videos. Thanks very much for watching, buddy. And what have you got yourself? He's just Chris Young. How you doing? Where are you from, Chris? Oh, you got the last one and all, the 3S. Brilliant. You going to go practicing this weekend? You're from Somerset. What have you got, Chris? Have you do you race or do you bash? You built your first RC plane. Island RC Duke, is that your name, or have you got a name? Do I just call you Island RC, or do you call you Duke? Have you ever flown a plane before, have you? Oh, you're a crawler? Yeah, I'm into the crawlers too. Uh, did you see the last competition we had there? Was it round 6 of the King Crawler competition? Well, Russell, if you let us know, I can say to Aaron, and he will, I'm sure he will open up for a practice day. Right, I think that has sat there long enough. Always work that up and down to try and get any bubbles out from underneath the piston. What's that? The weather's not good for the weekend, is it not? Oh, bummer. Get back in the RC after a long time away. Yeah, like myself, I was early RC for about 14 years. Always had a car of some description, but never really bothered too much. I was more into restoring and racing classic motocross bikes, or for you guys stateside, vintage dirt bikes. But I had a bit of an accident and bent my knee out at sort of 90-degree angle to the side, and I haven't been right since, so I had to sell all my vintage dirt bikes and took up RCing again. In fact, we went down to that track in Achilles, the Bad MCC one. There was a 2-day event on last year, at the tail end of last year, and Ellie came down with me just to have a watch, and ended up, she wanted to have a go and race the next day. So since then, that was me screwed. I had to, every time I bought an RC, I had to actually buy 2 of them because she was hooked like me. Call you Duke? Dead on. Duke, how you doing? I'm Tim, clearly. You have a few drones and RCs. I actually just sold my Mavic Zoom at the weekend to fund my 5th scale obsession that both myself and Ellie have just got. We have purchased a 5th scale mini for myself, and Ellie is going to get the wee Fiat 500 and go racing. So looking forward to next year. So if you've never flown a plane before, well, if you can fly a drone, you should be able to fly a plane. Well, that's my thinking anyway. I thought it was I thought the drone. Do you fly FPV drones, or is it just like a Mavic type drone? or you're into drag bikes, I don't know that I can feel any difference in that by hand. I suppose the proof will be in the pudding when they get it on track. Where's my FPV boy here? That's my wee FPV drone there, although I haven't had it out in quite some time. It runs on 4S. Thing's a weapon. I have the goggles and stuff there too. Actually, sometime if I ever get a chance, I'll maybe get it out and make a video of me crashing that into the ground at about 60 miles an hour. Yes, Vortex 250, the oh my god edition. Hello Harvey, there's Harvey looking in. We'll see, maybe clear space. Busa. Is it standard? That wasn't a turboed one. There's the guy I used to work for. I used to fix cars for a living for about 15 years, and then I gave it up and changed to doing refrigeration. And the guy that I worked for was crazy about bikes. He had a Hayabusa. That thing was insane. New rear tire every 1,000 miles. And coming out of a corner, the throttle, the dark lines, that thing used to leave on the road was crazy. Guys, I'm going to let Harvey in here. Hold on a wee second. In fact, the two of them are rather. Come on in, Harvey, come on. Up you get. Up. Good boy. Extended swing arm. I'm gonna see, have you seen Harvey? Say hello, Harves. Good boy. Good boy, Harvey. He has to be everywhere that I am. I don't know that I feel anything different about that whatsoever, but I guess we'll know when it's on the track. Anyway, I'll not get these mixed up. That one's done. And I'll pull this other one apart. Boxer called Bella. Could I recharge the aircon on your Mini? The 5th scale one or the full size one? A concern, yes, and by the way, yes, I know clearly not the fifth scale one. Yeah, I can do that for you, no problem. I actually got 2 golden retrievers. I don't know where the other one is. The other one, he's only 9 months old. He's called Monty. Harvey there, he just turned 3 in September at the start of this month. Full size. Yeah, I gathered that. Any of you guys ever tried these bypass valves? Let's see if we can do this one without making an absolute heist and throwing everything everywhere. That mightn't even have caught on camera the last time, did it? I set the pliers down on the microfiber and I caught it and I went to lift them up and flung all those wee bits and pieces all over the place. Hey, did you see my modification that I done, by the way, for the weight on the back of the Mugen? That was another thing. I was told to put 20 grams of weight on. What I had to do was braze, I was in my work van, I was able to braze 2 nuts together with a wee washer and a wee tiny nut inside, and I was able to bolt it up through the chassis, and that helped too in the back end of it. But my mate Lee Coggin has made a couple of nice brass ones there, so they'll be introduced next time I see him. And by the way, Russell, I've paid Lee for the Mini, so the Mini's now officially mine. So I'll need to get a few, need to get a set of tires. You're building your own, what does that say? What's that? Tim's Magic Milk in the background? Where is it? I don't even see it over here. That's a secret formula. That would be for an X-rated channel to show you how I made that. That is, it's a mixture of general purpose degreaser and just some light oil. Cleans a buggy up well, gets rid of all the crud, and leaves a nice wee sheen, keeps everything sort of lubricated and stops rust. I've seen a lot of the Americans use Simple Green and WD-40, and I just couldn't see any Simple Green on the shelf over here. I don't know if you can buy it or whether you have to order it in or what you have to do with it. Right, let's try and do this one. Wee spacer. That goes there. The washer's on. That pops on. And then the nut. Drink it. Hear you. Certainly stop your insides from rusting. I'd bring it with me the next time and you can test it and let me know what it's like, Russell, eh? Well, I can order it in by the drum, but it was quite expensive. I don't know, if you want to go half whack in a drum of it, we'll order it in. And I suppose what we could do is make up a batch of Simple Green and WD-40 mixed and sell it to the guys, if anybody is interested in it. Made up and all. I think you mix it 60-40. Is it 60% Simple Green and 40% WD? And Chris, you've been building your own crawler course. I'm doing a wee bit of that myself, but it's just a load of blocks and rubble at the minute. I've not much going on. It's hard to find the time to do everything. Yes, Chris, no bother. You get to your bed there, fella, and speak to you again. Is what any good, Russell, the simple green? Apparently so. A lot of the guys use it and swear by it. Yeah, no problem, Chris. You have a good day. Stay safe and happy RCing. Yeah, well, I say that guy, there's a buddy of mine, never actually met in person, but he's in California. That's the fella drives for Adam and Ronda Drake. That's what he uses, that simple green. And he says it's very, very good. And it's biodegradable or something, which is, I suppose, another benefit. Really looking forward to get this thing back to bad MCC. Do you ever race up there, Russell, do you? The shock mode, I think it's just supposed to settle the car. Sometimes the car would be a bit bouncy. You see it coming off a jump or over bumpy terrain. And especially if you watch the last video, you'll see the back end of my Mugen bouncing about. I think it's just supposed to calm it down. Just let that sit for a second. It is harsh on the cars when you consider that's only new and it's well scratched up already. But I bought it to drive it, so that's what I'm going to do. I used to try and keep them good. I used to put stickers on the bottom of them and all sorts of stuff to try and stop it from them from getting wrecked. But you know what? They're just there to get used, so. Yes, affects a rebound. It's like a one-way valve. When it's under compression, let me see, where would that'll sit on the top. So when it compresses, I had 1, 2, 3. Right, there's eight holes in that piston round the outside, and there's 6 in the inside. So whenever the suspension compresses, I think that'll open all of those holes, because that's like a wee real thin plastic papery type thing. So under compression that'll flap up and let oil through all of those holes, but on the rebound it'll close and only let it through the outer 8 holes. So yeah, it will affect rebound damping. That's my understanding of it anyway. I don't know, we'll see. I'm not that technical. Normally I don't bother too much with tuning at them too much. I just tend to drive them and try and drive around any issues. But I just thought with this particular thing, I'm going to try my very best and tune it as best as I can, see if it makes any difference. Exactly like the check valve, yeah. Do you know what? I haven't watched that yet. It's an electric clutch or something, isn't it? Might actually watch that myself tonight. Probably be a bit more interested in watching me doing this. Maybe that's where you should be on Drake's channel instead of this channel. Give over. Who is it? Nobody there. There'll be any rebound on this one. No, I don't know what make it is. It just said, I seen it on there, it said a electronic clutch. I'd say that's similar rebound. Right, I'll fit these into the front along with the new springs. No, where's the new springs? That's one. Mugen springs is all the same colour. They don't give you anything to differentiate between them. It's the number of coils, I think, is how they go. Hey, that'll be good crack if we all get up there with those short course trucks. I'm looking forward to seeing more of them on track. Although you're going to use it for about 3 weeks, and then whenever I drive rings around you, you're going to have to go out and buy a Tekno. I'll let you run the sending for a while, and then I'll give you a go with a Tekno, and I guarantee you, you're on my Rennick or the Andrew the audio one. Listen, they will be good fun. Well, they haven't really run them that much there. The guys are the guys haven't really done much tuning at them. They haven't tried different tires on them yet. I believe you can put a different size hex, and then you can put the ordinary, isn't it 12mm, I think the Teknos are, most of the stuff, and then you can use ordinary short course wheels, so you could use the likes of spirals and stuff on it. At least you'll have an excuse. So when do you think, when are you going to pick this thing up? Johnny's is he's the Arma sent in the 3S one as well, but he runs it on 2S as far as I'm aware. Pick it up on Friday, and then we can go up and practice on Saturday in the rain. Get it wet, it'll be alright. Yeah, that, you know something, the clutch sounds like a good idea. It'll bring it in, probably bring the power in a whole lot smoother and a whole lot more controllable. But then I'm only ever driving the E Buggy, so it probably doesn't matter. You know, it's not as if I'm used to the nitro. He's racing nitro and E Buggy, and I think it just makes the two cars feel very similar. You know, means he doesn't have to adapt every time he changes. I think that's the theory behind it anyway. But with me just driving E Buggy all the time, probably not going to make that much difference. And yeah, front and back braking, yeah, that's true. But I'm not, to be quite honest, that much in control of the car that I think it would make any difference to me. But maybe someday. So how many, do you think there'd be another, what, 4 or 5 of you coming up from Craigavon to go racing up at Ballymena? Oh, you've got the bits and all. Is it an electric clutch or what is it? I see your man Drake says it's an electric clutch, but I say I haven't actually looked at it, so I've no idea. White Lake, Michigan, watching, happy days. Man, flip, people are coming from all over the world. And what are you into? Rock crawling or racing or drone flying, or what are you into? We'll just call you Roxy. What's the could be 4, possibly 6? What's that? Shoes? Guys, that's the front all built up. I have no idea. It feels the same to me. I suppose I'll not know until I get it on the track. Crawlers and buggies, like myself. Oh right, I forgot to ask that question. 4 to 6 then of the guys turn up to Ballymena. What crawler have you got and what buggy do you have? Do you race or do you just bash for fun? And Russell, those guys that turn up to Ballymena, are they going to be doing buggies, or are they going to do short course as well? Guys, I think this is the most I've ever had at one time with 5 people watching. Who are you all? Luckily you picked up the hobby right before the Rona took over. A great distraction. Flip, I have, that's just, if you've only started it now, it's only going to get worse for you. All you have to do is look behind me and under the benches and in the corners, and it just, it's an illness like the Rona. It just tends to grow and grow and grow. And I was just saying to somebody earlier on, I made the mistake of bringing my daughter last year to one of the races just to watch. It was a 2-day event. Little did I know that was going to be her hooked. The very next day I had to bring her down, lend her one of my cars, and a couple of weeks later had to go and buy her own car. And now every time I buy a car or see something I like, I have to get 2. E Buggy and maybe short course. It'll be brilliant to get a whole lot of short course trucks going around that track. They changed the family room into a crawler park. And a short course track in the backyard. Well, I wish I could do that. My backyard's tiny. And the only thing is, my whole backyard's nearly like a crawler course. I have 2 golden retriever dogs. One of them's out here with me now. I showed them to the guys earlier on. Let's see, I'll show you one of them here. Harvey. Hello, chum. Can you see him? Hello, buddy. He's laying sleeping. But he is a digger. There's craters out the back, nearly 2 feet deep. What was I doing there? Alright guys, look, you're maybe going to hear a bit of this fan noise. It's getting cold in here again. Let me know if it's distracting and I'll turn it off, but a couple of minutes just to heat the place up would be good. You've got a few videos. That's the name of your YouTube channel, obviously, Roxy PDA. And I'll make sure and check that out, guys. Check that out. Anybody else watching here? We've lost one, we're down to 4 again now. Guys, see anybody that's on here watching? Try and get other people to subscribe to this channel. I made it my goal. I don't want to be a YouTube sensation or anything, but it was more the story behind what happened was my wife suffers from anxiety, and she didn't always. She was always a fun-loving, outgoing girl, but it just sort of happened. And she's a fantastic artist, and she does pet portraits and paintings and all sorts of things, and she's absolutely phenomenal at what she does. But she was too scared to put herself out there for fear of failing. And I says, I tell you what, you make a go of doing your portraits, and I put myself out there. And she goes, well, what could you do to put yourself out there? And I says, I'll start recording stuff on YouTube. And I'm not a public speaker. I detest listening to my voice. I detest looking at myself in the mirror and at a test looking at photographs of myself. So I said, if I can be brave enough and put myself on YouTube, you have a go and put yourself out there with your artwork. So she's true to her words. She stuck to what she was doing, and I said I'd give this a year. If I can make 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours watch time within a year, I'll stick at it. At the minute I'm at 3,600 watch hours and 405 subscribers. So the watch hours is going to get there, but the subscribers I don't think is going to get there in a year. But it would be awesome if I get close to it. I would stick at it. If I don't, I don't know, I may or may not. It cost me a fortune in cameras. It cost me a fortune in RC cars, and it takes up so much of my time editing the videos, as you yourself will know. So look guys, spread the word. It'd be cool to get a few more subscribers. Yes, it really is. Well, I remember at the start, looking, and there's people, you can buy subs and do all sorts of things like that, and I said that I'm not going to go down that route. I just want to try and do it organically and see what happens. I'm just loosening this off here, and you know something, I'm not 100% sure if I tighten one of those front ones. I'm going to have to check that again. Don't suppose any of you guys were eagle-eye enough to notice that I did or didn't tighten this bottom thing in the shock. The Insta360, I had looked into it, and I went with a GoPro. I don't know why, but I did. I was also looking at one of those DJI. There was a couple. There was a DJI Pocket, and there was a DJI, another one I looked at and was going to get. Do you know what? I'm going to build this shock up. Remind me to go back and check the front shocks. I think, see this bottom one here that I loosened off to get the shock shaft out? I think I left it loose on the second shock that I done. They do. I actually see your guy, what do you call him? Kevin Talbot. He puts it on the odd time. They're class looking. But that guy's got the money to. I think he just got a brand new one and put it on. It flipped over and scratched the lens and stuff. I'd cry. I even the FPV drone, I just put a wee cheap crappy fake GoPro thing on because I'm a bit terrified of ruining. I just see that lens loose there. Give me a second. I would give it a bird on the on-road car. I know you can still crash it, but there's less chance than wrecking one on the off-road cars. You can crash it terribly. I was just showing the guys earlier my drone. That's it there, the Vortex 250. Hasn't been flown in a while now, but actually really enjoyed doing it. I must get it out. I think I plummeted that thing into the ground at about 60 miles an hour. Thankfully it was soft grass it went into, but it took us a while to dig it out of the grass. There's a buddy of mine's actually very good at flying them, and we went up there. It was a disused golf course, and I was starting to get really cocky with it. I was doing the flips and rolls and loops and all sorts with it, and I tried to combine a few maneuvers together, and I just muscle memory, I just got totally confused. I ended up pinning it full throttle into the ground from about 60 feet up, and it buried the two props, motors, arms right into the ground. Flip me, what a mess. But so surprised, just able to pull it out, straighten the props, blew it out with an airline and straight up into the air again the way it went. Can you imagine doing that with a DJI drone? You'd cry. I'm not going to do much to the Mini other than I need to get a set of tyres. How much is a set of wheels and tyres? I have wets if it's wet, but I need to get another set of slicks, and what I'm going to do is just set the camber and the toe, and I think that's all I'll do. Give it a bit of a clean, make sure it's alright. $30 a pair, so 60 quid. I don't know how that will focus. Can you see that now, Russell? How that goes together, that piston? I don't know how I get it to focus. Will it focus in my hand and then turn it round? I don't know. And that's the back side of it. I wish I could remember if I done that to the last shock or not. Right, we've got 6 people on here now. We've got one local guy. We had one guy from Somerset where they make the cider, and we've got North Carolina. Who else have we got? Well, that's why I like recording everything, because you'll see I got my quickest lap time round bad at, was it 50.2 seconds? So if I can break into 40 seconds, it's made a difference. Let's set that one out. So we're also lighter oil in the rear, 400 weight. Do you do much prep, Russell, with the 5th scale cars? Suppose you treat it like I treat the buggies. You have them apart all the time, do you? I'm going to set that to the side for a second. Now the touring car you do. And I'm going to check that front shock again because I just cannot remember for the life of me. If I tighten that up, or even what one it was, so I'll just check them both here. And check the bearings too. Now, they're not like a car where you just replace them and they start to make a drone, no. So this is going to be another car. Oh, another two. I'm going to have to do this with Ellie's as well. I have some amount of cars to look after, you know that. I haven't even had much time for bison. I enjoy bison, that's why I bought that Tekno up at the top there, the truggy type thing. What was it was an MT, the monster truck. I bought it for bison, but I put the extended chassis on, and actually they're having a fun day at Bad MCC. I might actually enter it into the truggy race just for a laugh, and every lap over the big jump see if I can do a backflip just to annoy everybody. You don't see too many people doing backflips during the race. Right, well that one was tight. At least I know. I'll check the other side here. That'll make a good video. Why the backflips? Yeah, well it's a fun day. They're trying to raise money for a ramp for Gordy to be able to get racing again, which will be fantastic because he's there all the time with Adam, and it's all great fun helping out your son and all that, but that guy's passionate about the racing. So it'll be awesome to get him back up on the track again, or back out in the track again. I tell you what, he's pretty sharp, even around doing the on-road stuff. But he was a motorbike guy too. He was like myself. He used to ride all the Evo bikes and stuff. Let me show you. What do I say if I've... This is some of the things that my wife does as well. Remember I was saying she was into her arty things. She used to make plaques and stuff. That was me on my 1982 250 Micro at a race. I don't know if you can see that or not. Obviously I spotted her taking pictures with a camera, so I had to give her a juke. And then this one here is me on my I think that's a 1977 370 Bultaco. I am actually out in an Evo race. Those bikes all have to be 10 years older or more. That held my own in the old 1977 Bultaco. There's a story behind that Bultaco. I actually seen one on eBay and I went out to go and buy it, brought it back, and if I can find pictures sometime I'll show you. It was absolutely showroom, like brand spanking new condition, and it was actually that new that I just couldn't ride it, so I had to I looked up and seen another one, which was a bit of a basket case. So away we went back over to Manchester, brought it home, and then spent I think it was the next maybe I think I did done in about a month because there was races coming up. Took about a month, stripped the whole thing, and have pictures of Ellie. She came out and gave me a hand in her jammies. Stripped it, new shocks, powder coated frame. Even learned how to lace the wheels myself. Laced the wheels, fitted the tires, pulled the engine and gearbox apart, new selector forks, bearings, any gears that it needed, and done the whole thing up. But I went a bit overboard, and then I ended up with 2 bikes sitting like brand spanking new, and I didn't know which one to race. So I opted for the one that I done. I put fancy shocks, and it wasn't sort of factory spec, whereas the first initial one I bought was factory spec. So I left that original and raced the one that I built. So and then proceeded to buy a 1960s, I think it was, an AJS Stormer, and a 250 Honda, and I think I had 7 motorbikes here at one time. Guys, I'd friggin' both of them tight. I didn't need to pull that apart again. Hi Ray, flip, I was that busy waffling nonsense, sir. Didn't see there was other people joined us. Hey Ray, I see he's just got finished filming too. So what's your next project? Guys, are you watching me or not keeping me right here? Did you just not look what I just done? Spot the mistake. And I probably noticed that. You've started another new show now, flip me. Busy man. Are you ever going to get time to come out crawling again? No spring. Eddie? No, not really. I used to actually. I started off riding trials bikes, and then road bikes, and then vintage motocross bikes. But I hurt my knee badly riding the classic motocross. It was actually down racing down the Skerries down south, and it was a real gutter hole, and it was the last lap of the last race, and we were fighting to see who came last or didn't come last. It was just me and another guy, but you know something, I was having that much crack that I thought there's no way I'm coming last. I had to do everything I can to beat him, and I come round the second from last corner and pinned it and got sort of cross rutted, and my leg got caught and bent out 90 degrees, and that essentially finished me. I was 18 months on crutches. Had to work all of it, bar I took a 2 weeks holiday, and I took it to try and help recover, but ended up working, and used to leave my ladders at the bottom, or my crutches at the bottom of the ladders, and hobble on up the ladders because I couldn't afford to be off work, and that sort of done it for me. I give up and don't bother with the bikes anymore, so I'm just in the RC. Yeah, Ouch is right, and I'm still hobbling about. If you see that the last video that I uploaded, you see me move out of people's way to let them get up and down the stairs. I still hobble about. I have my good days and I have my bad days, so I really miss the bikes. I must make a video someday and show all the different bikes that I had. I bought an AJS Stormer, and it was in bits in a basket, and me and my mate Ray were out here, and we used to always fiddle about and footer with the bikes, and didn't realise the time, but we're all excited, got this thing all built up and made special tools. I bought a MIG welder and a TIG welder, and we sorted all the bits and pieces out, made up our own tools, and got this clutch fitted. And I says, you know what, let's try and get this thing to go. I was leaking a wee bit of fuel out of the carb, but we'll give the carb a bit of a tickle. And I said, I'll give it 3 kicks, and if it doesn't go, I'll not do it no more. First kick, hit it, boom, started to fire up. Second kick, away it went. I'm sitting revving the thing. Next thing, my wife came down like a beaten bear. It's 2:30 in the morning, and we live in a built up area, and I was out in a wooden shed raving the dung out of this 1960s AJS Stormer, so you can imagine how loud it was. Yeah, and all see, whenever I went, the AJS was at low. I went to let it off the motorbike stand, and I got my finger caught between the stand and the thing, and near took a finger of myself as well. The MT09. You have a 125 Scrambler. Hey, do you know what? It's still a bike, and you get out there, don't you? Right, you need to make time and get out with the RC. Right, where was I? Now that I know that that's okay. Ray, if you're still there, guess what's in that? And it's not Tim's Magic Milk. Right, where were we? Back to the job in hand. Yes, a lot less injuries from RC is right. Although, have you seen the size of those 5th scale cars? Russell knows exactly what's in that glass. I can tell by the laugh. Hey Russell, are you ever gonna come out with the crawlers? Would you believe I have another animal looking in here now, and it's Steve the cat. Come on, Steve. Come on. Hurry up, can you get... So we'll have Steve the cat and Monty the golden retriever, 2 best buddies. Steve, he's got a... Come here. Steve-o, here. He's got a wounded head. He got attacked the other day by another cat. Hello, Steve-o. That's Steve, but the poor fella has a gammy head. He's a cool cat. He's a cool character. You see his head? He is a nice cat. You know something? I have his mum as well. We actually had, at one point we had a Rottweiler, a Collie, a Jack Russell Cross, a cat that was about 20-year-old called Lucky. Then we had Molly, who's actually Steve's mum, and now Steve. It's ridiculous, but we'll say we're down now to 2 golden retrievers and 2 cats. We have Molly and Steve, and say Molly is Steve's mum. So cats, they're tortures. Would you believe whenever I was younger I was allergic to dogs and cats, and they made me, if I stroked the dog, my eyes all puffed up and I could hardly breathe. And now I can wake up in the morning with a dog on my chest and a cat in my head, and it's like a menagerie. It's ridiculous, this house. Oh wow, a Maine Coon. Oh, they're absolutely beautiful. That's, do you know something, that I wouldn't get another cat, but I would consider one of them. They're the size of a golden retriever. They're absolutely phenomenal cats. But I'd say the claws are pretty big. That's the only thing. That big fella there, Steve, you've seen, he catches you with one of his claws. You know all about it. How cool is the RC hobby? Oh, he can do a lot of damage, I'm sure. He's like a friggin' tiger. How cool is this RC hobby? There's me sitting in a shed in my house in Belfast in good old Northern Ireland, joined by a few people dotted all over the world. Nitro 1/8. Let's show you. This used to be my main ride. This now it's covered in dust, but that's one of the original Lost 8s, and so apart from being covered in dust, 14 years old. Hello Ellie.
Hi.
That's 14 years old and still runs as sweet as a nut, and I might actually bring it to the track someday. I used to race that, and then that's whenever I give up. Right, so now we have Steve the cat, Harvey the retriever, and my daughter Ellie now in with us. Say hi to everybody.
Hi.
I have Ray, Carlin and Russell on.
Roxy says hello to me.
Yes.
I just let Steve.
I forget. There's Russell. Is Irvine 40 saying hi.
Hi.
And another nitro I have, Roxy, is this is another old one, but another minter. That's again about a 14-year-old team associated, and they actually had that round the track in Ballymena not that long ago. Ellie had a go with it as well. So yes, we have a couple of nitros there to run, albeit they're old.
Thank you, Ray.
And we'll have, what else have we got there? We've got HPI Savage, and we'll have
You should be happy.
the Traxxas. But it's not nitro, so yeah, we've loads of stuff there. Too much stuff.
Thank you, Eddie.
Congrats to Ellie, yes, for the rock crawlers.
Yeah, the win. Ray said congrats as well.
She just snuck in there at the end, didn't she? Ellie is wearing a, what is that, a Megadeth t-shirt?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. I was surprised that these shocks work. I'm spending more time talking nonsense and showing things and concentrating on what I'm doing. Proud dad moment? Listen, you know what? My daughter makes me proud every day. Just for being able to stick me for being such an idiot.
Right, I'm waiting for a bath and I'm going to bed.
Right, okay. Bye.
Bye.
Fist bump.
See you later.
Ellie's away again. Who won? I don't know. Was it Curtis won, I think? Yeah, Curtis, yeah. But you know what, Ray? He cheated. He hit so many flags, but he actually paid me money and he gives me free RC parts, not to show him hitting the flags on the videos. Robert, I'll have to, do you know what, I can't even look because I'm filming with my phone and I have my iPad reading comments because my eyesight's that bad I couldn't see them on my phone. A win is a win. Even if you had to cheat and pay to get it. Curtis, if you're watching, I'm only joking. Curtis makes that thing that he drives with straight axles and clodbuster tires from the 1980s do things that even the Capra can't do. I don't know, he's a decent driver now. Fraser was pleased with himself. Wee Wheels is in his own wee world there. Do you know what, right? How much fun do we have? Well, a lot of grown men and rock crawler cars going and doing those trails. It's just constant banter. You have to have a thick skin to go to those places, don't you? You just cannot take things too seriously. It's witchcraft, it is witchcraft. Eddie, which RC class do I enjoy more? That's a really tough question. I enjoy them all. I don't have one really. It just depends. I really enjoyed the racing at the weekend because things were going well, but the week before we were at the crawlers, and I love the crawlers. Reminds me of the trials bikes, and then the fifth scale, the on-road stuff, I'd never tried it before, and I sort of went, to be quite honest, whenever I heard that they had the fifth scale race was on, I didn't even know that track existed, and it's only literally a few minutes away from my work. And I just thought to myself, I'll go down and in fact I met Russell and Tony and oh jeez, the name slips my mind. Who else was there? Was it Stephen or something? I can't even remember. Met them down at the Ballymena track, and they were telling me, showing me around the cars and telling me everything about the telling me about the fifth scale stuff, and I thought I'll go down because it'll be good footage for the channel. And see, when I went down there and got a line of a couple of cars, I absolutely loved the on-road stuff. So like, I just love it all. I love it all. Anything with an engine of some description, or an electric motor, and anything with wheels, suspension, I don't know, I just love it all. Full scale cars, motorbikes, RC cars, crawlers, short course. One thing I would love to do, if we ever got the chance, we've actually been to America a few times on holiday, but I've never got to actually go and watch any of the short course racing live. I'd love to go and see that and race that. Your guy Kevin Talbot, he's into the monster trucks. Well, I would be probably short course truck racing. Full scale would be my biggest buzz if I could ever get to do it. That's my sort of cup of tea. You've got speed, you've got jumps, and a bit of sideways drifting. Indoors was great. See, I hate you saying things like that, Russell, because I keep thinking I've got them all and I don't need any more. They are gearheads, absolutely. I mean, see if you could see my house. When we moved into it maybe 14 years ago, I started tiling the kitchen and sort of never finished it because I thought, do you know what? I only need another box of tiles, but I really would like to get a new set of wheels for the bike. So I bought a set of wheels for the bike, and then I bought another bike, and then I bought an engine, and then I bought parts for the gearbox, and we're 14 years on and I've never ever got that box of tiles, and now the whole kitchen is decorated. So always one more class. There really is. It's insane. I just don't have the time. I think my wife would divorce me if I got another car. Sure, I bought for Christmas last year, I bought her that Gladiator rock crawler that's hanging on the wall behind me. She's used it once and I keep breaking the axles on it. I think the year before that I bought her some aftershave. Not because she needed aftershave, because I did. I knew that obviously she wouldn't use it. She says, well, she's understanding. How long have I been on here? Like 10 minutes? How do you tell? Put all these wee valves back in their packet. I'll put the shocks back in. 33. Right, we're missing a shock piston. Where's the shock piston? I've managed to lose an original shock piston. Anyway, I'm sure it'll turn up. I'm just going to put set the shocks in. That'll do me. I've lost an original shock piston, but I'm sure it'll appear here somewhere in a minute. Guys, thank you for sticking around. It made my night of wrenching a lot more enjoyable, and it's always good to have company. Yes guys, good night, and thanks for keeping me company. Maybe see you at the weekend. Any of you guys still there? Hopefully, yes, it will be good. Look, let me know, keep in touch, and let me know what's happening, because I'll get Aaron to put on a practice day, and we can go down and have a bit of crack. The AGM, I didn't even know it was on. Keep me right, yes, I probably will do, yeah. I think Ballymena are thinking of doing a Zoom AGM, and there's going to be beer involved, so that'll be good. Yes, Eddie, you have a good one too, and have a good crack. To see you on track. And these couple of screws, and that's us done. Yeah, see Ballymena have their dates more or less. I think they're confirmed now, so if the liaise with you guys, it'll be good to get a bit of a mix between on-road and off-road. Right, guys, I think that's us just about done. I'm going to set these wheels on, and I'm going to just check the ride height, and that'll do it. But you don't need to be on camera for that. I forgot about my fancy weight, I'll add that on as well. Do the wet tires not help with that? Or do they not really make that much of a difference? Now the wet tires on the road, not like the motorbikes, they work all sorts of magic. Best to find out for yourself. Well, if it's as slippy as the first couple of corners in the dry with cold tires, I'll be absolutely useless at it. Although in saying that, the camber was set ridiculous. The inside of my tyres are hardly worn at all, and the outside are down to the plastic. Right, just to add my homemade weight, and I think we'll call it a night, guys. Don't forget, any of you lot, if you can persuade anybody to subscribe to the channel, and it would be greatly appreciated. Now, we're now joined by Monty, my other puppy. What? No. My wife has just snuck in her jammies and she's freaking out thinking that you can see her in the corner of the room. I'm nearly done, Heather. Literally 2 minutes and I'll be finished. Right, guys. That ride height is ridiculous for those springs. All I can say is that is the Ryan Mayfield setup, complete by the book, apart from I've used MIP 8-hole pistons instead of 6-hole pistons. Everything else is by the book. So yeah, anyway guys, thank you all for watching. Let's see, I'll turn this around here. Guys, thank you all for watching. Thanks for sticking around, and make sure and stay tuned to the channel to see if these upgrades actually work. And anybody that's has one of these and they're wanting to know does it make any difference and will it improve your lap times, you've seen my last race, my lap times. I think the fastest lap time I've ever done was at the weekend, and that was with this car. It was 50.2 seconds. So if I can break into the 40s, I would say everything in this Ryan Mayfield 2021 DNC setup is definitely a must try. So look, thanks for sticking with me. Happy RCing, and until next time, bye bye guys.